Welcome to the first ever New Comic Fans podcast. Today in every podcast, we'll be joined with myself. I'm Joshua, I guess the host, and my co-host over here.
My name is Josh.
So you got Joshua and Josh.
My name is Jeff.
Yeah.
We don't have a theme song?
We don't have a theme song.
Go with a theme song.
Hey, we're going to sing a theme song for you guys next week.
You're gonna sing, or we're gonna rehearse it. We're gonna go like choir practice.
We're gonna rehearse two different songs and combine them. It's gonna be anything but beautiful.
Interesting.
So if this happens to be, and if you're listening to this is your first episode you're listening to, because it's our first episode.
Yeah.
I guess if you went back and listened, it couldn't be, but.
Well, yeah, it couldn't. True that. Like if you listen to episode 2, that would be your first episode.
Yeah, and if you went back and listened to episode 1, then this would actually be your second episode. But nonetheless, as the title suggests, New Comic Fans, we are both new to comic books, and we're excited to share our point of view on comics and comic movies and TV shows and things like that from the perspective of someone new getting into it instead of someone that has been in it for all their life.
Right. Yeah. I know. I got a couple of friends that are like super deep into the comic book lore and all that. So it's like you lost me, man. But I'm getting there. We're gonna get there together. It's gonna be a journey.
It is. It's fun. I think we probably both watched some of the cartoons growing up, from Spider-Man, X-Men, Ninja Turtles, things like that. And I mean, there's even some cartoons still on. Come on, Disney XD. I've heard.
I heard. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, they're not on my DVR right now.
Because you deleted them after you watched them, right?
Yeah, I may be still working on some of them. But we're both big fans. We're not necessarily fans of DC or Marvel. We're fans of good content that's entertaining and that's fun for us to watch or read or whatever.
Yeah, like I'm a big, I guess, Superman fan, but I don't read the comics. I just like Superman, but I'm also into everything else. So,
right, and I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan, but that's not going to sway me towards DC more because I really do like the Marvel movies as well, with the Iron Man and Captain America and Thor and Hulk and all those guys and girls.
Oh, speaking of DC, we got the Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition trailer, the Dawn of Justice or whatever it was called. I didn't see the movie.
Did you actually? You did not see the movie.
I did not see the movie.
You were a Superman fan, but you did not see the movie.
Yeah, it cost money.
Yeah, that's true. But Superman was not in it for very much. Just FYI.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So this is the new trailer came out, and you said that they should have put this trailer out first.
I said they should have put this movie out first.
Oh,
not the trailer. Because there's a lot of stuff in that trailer, probably almost all of it, that is not in the movie. Since you haven't seen it, you don't know that. So they should have put this movie, which the movie, I think, if I remember, was 2 hours and 29 minutes long. So it was a long freaking movie to begin with.
Yeah, Lee.
But like what I've told people, what I may have even told you off microphone before, or off podcast, whatever this is called.
Off camera,
that what I think they should have did was taken Batman vs Superman, made it an hour longer, developed all the characters, and made it into 2 movies. Released one in the spring and one in the fall. But I know that's not something that you're going to see happen.
Right. Like you might see it a year later, but
right.
Yeah. So I hadn't seen it. I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, I'm just going to judge it based off the trailer. Like I've heard a couple of things here and there, mainly that Civil War destroyed this movie, but I was like, all right. So for me, watching the trailer, it seems like Batman and Superman are gonna fight based off something Superman did. I'm assuming based off of the Superman movie.
Right, Man of Steel.
Yeah, that's how I guess it, because from the trailer you can watch it. I'm not spoiling anything. It's all in the trailer. He's like essentially Bruce Wayne's in Metropolis, and he's like,
actually, in this universe, Gotham and Metropolis are like separated, by like a river, or there's a bridge connecting them.
Oh,
so it's kind of like what it would be probably Brooklyn in New York.
Okay, that makes sense. And then it was like Lex is just trying to get them to fight. He's like the instigator. He's poking him. He's like, hey, fight this guy. Maybe he's a manager. He's a promoter.
Yeah, he's the fight promoter.
Yeah, he's a fight promoter. He's like Dana White for UFC. And then like all of a sudden, Wonder Woman shows up and they're all fighting the same villain. It's like, what? On the other trailers, I didn't know there was another villain. It was Batman vs Superman, and you saw like a little bit of Wonder Woman, but she was like in a dress or something. It wasn't like her in her costume. So it's like, what in the world's going on in this movie?
Okay, then you didn't see enough trailers.
Okay, I don't watch a lot of TV. That's my big thing.
Yeah. If you saw the trailers, then you saw all the villains. You saw there's pretty much nothing going to surprise you if you saw all the trailers, and we'll get into that a little bit more when we get to our topic for today.
Okay.
So, or actually, we may get to it here in just a second. Let's see. We'll come back. We'll revisit that in just a second.
Okay. What about? I did hear that the rights to Prince Neymar are going back to Marvel Studios. Now, I know Marvel was kind of like they kind of let some of their characters go to like other companies, like Sony and Spider-Man.
So, Sony has Spider-Man. I don't know if they let him go. I think they bought him.
Well, I mean, they
don't know
bought
how
the
that
rights.
works.
Yeah, but it's like, what does that mean for upcoming projects? What do you think that means?
Well, do you know who Namor is?
I did a little research because I had no idea who it was. He's essentially like an Aquaman.
Like, kind of, yeah. Except he can fly.
But he can fly. He's not.
He's from Atlanta. He's an Atlantean, I believe is what they call it.
He's from Atlanta. He's from Georgia.
He's from Atlantis, but it's a Atlantean DNA is what he has. I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah.
I think this is really interesting because Aquaman, I think there's a movie scheduled for some year for DC.
I think it's 2017 for Aquaman.
But if they happen to throw, is it next year really?
Yeah, it's real soon. Like I was looking at IMDb for a couple of other things, like just for upcoming movies and stuff. And he's got the dude's already cast. They got like the
dude was cast because he was in Batman vs Superman.
But spoiler.
The dude's been cast. That's not really a spoiler.
Oh.
Trust me, guys, that didn't ruin the movie for you guys. If the movie's bad, it's not because I just said that Aquaman was in Batman
I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah, well, also Flash is in it. But anyway,
whoa, dude, you gotta calm down with that.
Okay, so that was the last one.
All right. I was waiting for another one.
Okay, maybe Cyborg. Totally not joking, but anyway,
wow.
It's not pertinent to the movie.
Right.
It's really not, because you have enough going on without adding those three characters in.
I'll take your word for it. I hadn't
but
seen it.
Ryan Reynolds did not make an appearance.
Green Lantern
did not make an appearance. I can tell you that. Deadpool did not make an appearance.
Gotcha.
So, but no, yeah, it could be interesting because I thought the Aquaman movie was supposed to be later than that.
It might be 2018. I mean, it's not this year. 2016. It's going to be like
right.
the next year or two for sure.
Because I wasn't real sure. But what could be interesting is if Namor gets put into someone else's movie ahead of time, because I mean Aquaman's more well known than Namor is. But if he makes an appearance, then it could look like Aquaman's almost a ripoff. So I think there could be a little bit of a competition between them to get who they get in there for.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they could do that, like maybe another Marvel movie, like, I don't know if they're going to have like a Civil War 2, but not Civil War 2. Like they're going to have like a second part of Civil War.
No.
If he would be like involved in it. It's like, could he be like the Black Panther where he just gets so much like credit for it that he gets his own movie? Because right now, like, I don't know nothing about the guy. To me, he doesn't get his own movie. He's not going to be...
No, he's not going to get his own movie, not anytime soon. But I think it's going to be tough. He would have to get plugged into someone else's movie, I think, first, because this year we've got Doctor Strange coming out still.
Right.
Next year you have Black Panther.
Right.
You also have Spider-Man Homecoming, which is a Sony movie, but it's also tied to the Marvel Universe because Iron Man or Robert Downey Jr. is in it.
Okay.
And then you have... Who else is coming out? There's another one, I think, next year also. Guardians 2 is coming out next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and that's in 2017. Then 2018... You have Infinity War Part 1, which I know they changed the name to. It's not going to be Part 1 and Part 2. It's going to be, I don't know what their names are going to be yet, but that's the big movie that's going to be a big team up with all of them. The Defenders is supposed to possibly have a movie. I mean, the Inhumans has been pushed back, so he's going to have to join in with someone else, I think, in order. And then Captain Marvel, which we got news coming up on that also, and we can just go ahead and jump into that.
Yeah.
Brie Larson, how do you feel about that?
I actually didn't have a clue who the heck she was. So whenever I'd heard about it, I was like, who the heck's Brie Larson? I've never heard of her.
I'm really excited.
So it was like, I don't know who she is, but like I said, I was looking through some stuff. I don't think she's been in any big name movies, at least not for me. Not anything I would watch. Not saying she hasn't been in
21 Jump Street was a pretty good size movie.
21 Jump Street's the biggest name. Like,
and
I couldn't point her out in that movie if you paid me to. Like, I couldn't tell you that was her.
Right. And Scott Pilgrim, I think that was a decent sized movie also.
Yeah.
And I think that was a comic book movie, maybe?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim's a comic book.
I was thinking that was based on a comic book, but
yeah.
I'm actually really excited for that. I think she won an Academy Award earlier this year for the movie Room that came out last year, but I don't know exactly how those awards work for year to year. But
I've never heard of it.
I hadn't heard of it either. But if she wins an award, then she's probably a pretty good actress.
Pretty good. So that's what I was thinking too. It's like, could she pull it off as being? I'm going to assume like the tough guy role or tough girl role. Sorry,
I don't know. I'm not real sure that I'm that familiar with Captain Marvel or Mrs. Marvel enough to say that she doesn't fit the character, because I don't know that much about Mrs. Marvel or Captain Marvel.
Right. Well, I mean, she could probably do acting. I mean, you could fit into it, but I guess it all depends. I hadn't heard like an uproar about it. Most people, from what I've seen, are okay with it. They're like, cool. Like even the dude that plays Captain America,
Chris Evans.
Yeah, he even came out and was in support of it. So it's like for it just to be a rumor, it's taken off drastically.
Yeah, and I mean, would you have thought Scarlett Johansson, when she was cast as Black Widow, would have been as good of a comic book character as she's been?
Right. I could have seen the girl from the Resident Evil movies, Mila Jovovich or something like that. Mm-hmm. I could have seen her because, I mean, that's the type of movie she's done most of her career, or at least most of her in the spotlight career. I mean, she did some stuff before that, but like to me, that probably would have been a better fit. But Scarlett Johansson does a great job,
and she does. I don't know how many of her whatever stunts she does, but she looks pretty. You can tell some of them she does, and she looks pretty good doing them. So, but I mean, I think she's done a great job as Black Widow, and I think I've even heard some rumors or maybe read that there's possibility of her getting her own movie as well.
Oh, and, wow.
I mean, she as an actress can carry a movie for sure.
Yeah.
It's just, can that character carry a movie for sure or not?
Right.
But I mean, you plug in a Captain America for part of it, or a Hawkeye in there with it, or do her backstory from when she was a kid. Yeah. And I mean, there's a story there. I just don't know what's going to happen with it.
Yeah, that's true. I got you.
And I think our last bit of news we have is going to talk a little bit about Suicide Squad. And this is where I'll kind of... And our topic this week is the Ninja Turtles, the 2014 versus the 2016 movie. We did see the new one. Even Josh did.
I did. I actually went and watched a movie.
So we're going to kind of talk about those, but I told you we'd come back to the trailers for Batman versus Superman. Well, I think with the Ninja Turtles, if you saw all the trailers and you watched them all,
yeah. There was like 8 of the new one that just came out like this past weekend, the Out of the Shadows. There was like 8 trailers for that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of mini clips. They did a lot of advertising for it, and they just showed a lot of stuff in the trailers. They showed a lot of stuff that's going to be in the movie. I would say there wasn't, if you've already seen the trailers, this isn't a spoiler, but there's not a lot of surprises if you saw the trailers. We're not going to talk about what's in the trailers, but there's really not. I mean, you can kind of know how the story's going to go. There's a few surprises, but for the most part, you know what's happening.
Yeah, they did all the big reveals in the trailer.
And I think for Batman vs. Superman, you had the same thing happen. They had so much content come out. They had that trailer, which I know you hadn't seen. You're going to get this. This is being told to you, though.
Okay.
Is that in December, they released the big trailer that showed Batman and Superman fighting, and it showed Lex Luthor, and then it shows Doomsday. I'm like, really? You're just going to show... and you saw Wonder Woman as well. You saw everybody in that trailer that came out in December. And I'm like, I know it gets everybody excited for it, but you still got 3 more months to go, and you've already revealed everything. I mean, what's the surprise going to be?
Yeah, I agree with that. Makes sense, because like that's how the Suicide Squad trailers are. It's like, because to me, like I like the job they did casting it. Like Viola Davis as Waller, I think she fits perfect. She does a great job in
perfect.
How to Get Away with Murder. Like she's that to the T. Like even if that's the only thing I've seen her in, which is How to Get Away with Murder, like which it is to the T. Like she could fit that like role no problem. But who's going to steal the show in this movie? Because to me, Will Smith is the biggest name in the show at all. Like, I didn't know who Margaret Robbie was. I didn't know who Cara Devine or whatever her name is. I didn't know who she was. Like, half the cast, I didn't know who they were.
Well, Jared Leto, you know who that is, right?
Not particularly. Like,
he's from the lead singer from 30 Seconds to Mars.
It wouldn't.
Yeah, he's done some other movies too. I think he was in Fight Club, maybe. I can't remember. He's done some movies before. He's a pretty good actor, and his Joker looks.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the uproar about the Joker is because because like for me, like I grew up with the old school Batman movies, so the Joker was Jack Nicholson. Like that's like the for sure Joker to me. Like Heath Ledger, I wasn't impressed with his Joker. Like it was a good Joker. He did a good job, but to me, Jack Nicholson takes the cake. He's the Joker.
Right. I think for me, I have a hard time remembering the 1989 Batman with Jack Nicholson. But because it's been so long ago and I haven't watched it in so long, I'm sure it's unwatchable now. But Heath Ledger, his character was good. I don't think it was because it was Heath Ledger. I think that a good actor could have played that part very well, because once you put the mask on or the paint on, you're just another person. I mean, Batman's the same way. A lot of people were worried about how
Ben Affleck
would do, and he was great as Batman, as Bruce Wayne especially. But once you put the mask on, it's not really about how well of an actor they are. It's more about how the story's wrote, because you're going to get enough CGI and stuff like that done that. And I think it was the same for the Joker. I think once you put the mask on, the character kind of goes away. I think anyone could have played the character.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Like, even though he seems kind of like out there, but at the same time made it more modern. Like, at least in my opinion, you got more of something that probably the Joker would do. Like, he might have the gold teeth, he might have the tattoos everywhere. That just makes more sense for nowadays compared to what he was originally written for, which was like back in the 60s.
Right. And I don't think either one of us really know that much about the Suicide Squad.
No.
I mean, in the comics, I know they had a bomb implanted in their brain. Mm-hmm. And if they went rogue or something, then they blew them up. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this story or not. If they're going to, I don't know how it's going to handle. How it's going to be handled.
Because to me, it's like, is this going to be introducing the Suicide Squad, or is it going to be one character takes the show? Is it going to be like Harley Quinn's version of Suicide Squad, and then like a couple of years later, we're going to have a Deadshot, which is Will Smith's character? Is he going to be like the main character in the Suicide Squad? Like, is it going to be like that, or is it just going to be like individuals and they're a team, and then this is just a one-off movie?
I think it depends on how it's perceived, but what I'm excited about that I think is different for them from Batman vs. Superman and from the Ninja Turtle trailers, I don't think they've revealed that much in this trailer. Because what do you know so far? You know that Harley Quinn's in it. Mm. And I mean, if you read spoilers for what could be and rumors, then you can know a lot more. But just from the trailers, it's got Harley Quinn and Deadshot and Boomerang and Crocodile.
Killer
Croc. And then I can't remember. There's the Witch Lady.
Right. Yeah. Like I don't know who she is. The one with the sword, and then the guy with the flames. Like I can't
remember their names off the top of my head. I could have told you earlier, but I can't remember now. But you have all these guys, and then who's the villain?
Yeah, because it's perceived as a Joker.
Well, it is, and then if you watch the trailer a little bit closer, you're like, who caused all this damage? Because the damage caused to the buildings to make them look like they do isn't caused by Joker.
Right.
And he's not really about mass destruction. He's about causing chaos.
Right.
And so I'm curious how much Joker's actually in the modern day. Because I think it's going to be, you see Harley Quinn fall into the vat with Joker. So I think we're going to see a little bit of her origin story. Probably more of her origin story than probably any of the rest of them, if I was guessing. So I think this is going to be exciting because I don't really know what to expect going in, except it's going to be kind of a lighthearted, funny movie. And it has some great actors and actresses in it. I think the Margaret
Robbie?
Robbie, yeah, she's in focus with Will Smith, and they have pretty good chemistry.
Okay.
And you could tell by them talking in the trailers that they've been in that they seem like they have chemistry together. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. For not knowing much about it, like just the trailers put forward that we've seen, the few that we have. I mean, we still got a couple of months left, but it's up there on my list of I want to watch.
Yeah, that's one I'm for sure going to go be seeing in the theater the opening weekend.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely have an episode over that.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to it.
I just don't. I'm debating on whether I should avoid any more trailers because I'm excited for it right now, and I don't want to have it ruined. But before I get there,
yeah, it's like all the good stuff's gone just from the trailers. Like then you watch the movie, you're like, well, that was in every trailer. It's like that's like the major part of the movie. Why would you show that to me?
Right. So this week's topic, if we kind of already hinted at it, we're going to be talking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell.
Total Power.
That's right. And we're going to start by talking about, well, first of all, we're going to give a 3-star rating system, a 1, 2, or 3, or a 0.
Or a black hole.
Yeah.
If you're a black hole, you got some issues.
Zeros, if we give you a 0, that means it's a waste of money. Don't see it. You don't want to watch it. Terrible.
Yeah.
You probably won't see a lot of zeros from us because we can usually find something that we enjoy just about out of every movie. And so, what else we got? A 1? What does that look like?
To me, that's like an average. I would say wait for Blu-ray, Netflix. Like, I wouldn't necessarily go out and see it, but I would own it. I would keep it, or at least watch it. One of the two.
Yeah, and if you're a fan, then you should. But if you're not a fan. And if you're a fan of any movies, no matter what rating we give it, you should go see these movies if you want to see them. And if you're not, then, I mean, don't go see the movie based on anything we're saying.
I mean, it's a difference of opinion. Like the guys who were in front of us watching the Turtle movie absolutely hated it. And we'll get to our stuff later. But I mean, just the whole movie was like, oh my gosh, dudes, if you didn't want to be here, get the fudge out. Like, get on with your bad self.
Yeah.
We don't want to listen to it all the time.
So, and 2 is going to be an okay movie. You can wait till Blu-ray and see it, or Netflix, or because it comes out so quickly now that you can wait if you want to. But it was a good movie. We'd say pretty good. And then a 3 is an awesome movie, must see for everyone, especially fans. So, of course, these are our opinions. None of these networks or studios are paying us to say that. Although, if you want to send us a check, we can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, it's like, not that we're against it.
Yeah. Just send us an email below and we'll get you a link to, we'll get you our address. Straight cash, homie.
Right.
So, before we get into the 2014, I have something I want to say. Me and Josh went to the movies on Saturday and saw this.
Right.
And I don't always get popcorn and a drink, but I decided for this movie I was going to get popcorn and a drink. And the lady in front of me placed 3 separate orders. Now, I understand going to the movies is expensive, and if you can't, if it's that close, then maybe if you can afford popcorn or something, maybe you shouldn't buy popcorn. But she literally ordered a drink, paid for it, then she ordered a hot dog,
yeah,
paid for it, and then she ordered a pretzel
with an extra cup of cheese.
And the extra packet of salt also. That was the only person ahead of me, and Josh was in the other line. I think 6 people ordered before she got done because she paid for all these transactions separate and was having this guy run everywhere to get it. And so, if you're ordering at the theater, order all your shit at one time. And we're not going to do all this. Just don't do. Think about the people behind you.
Right, yeah. It's like,
I mean, unless you're wanting to be an ass and then do what this lady did.
Yeah. Don't be like this lady.
All right, so 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We are going to spoil the hell out of this because it's 2 years old.
Yeah, it's an old movie.
Yeah, so if you hadn't seen it, then this is spoilers from here forward for TMNT 2014.
I was like, more spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers all the way.
I'm going to be honest, I hadn't watched it. Because like I said, I don't watch a lot of TV, I don't watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of YouTube. Because I build websites, so I watch YouTube all day. Like I don't have TV at home. That's not my thing. So I just watched this recently. I watched it Thursday night. Before we went and watched the new one. And going into it, like my expectations were all right because I'm a huge fan of the old school movies, like the original, like the live action, like people in the turtle suits. Like to me, that's the Ninja Turtles. That's what I grew up with. That's what I know. So these, I'm like, I don't really like how they look. I'm not a big fan of CG and all this other stuff. And what are they going to do with my favorite characters? Like, what are they going to do with everybody to screw them up? Like, what's going to happen? So it was like, but I'm curious because I want to know. Because being a fan, I want to know. Like,
Right.
What's the story going to be? What are they going to do? So it was pretty interesting, man.
So what is the story for
It's April O'Neil.
April? No. I mean, what's really the story? What was the
April
2014 movie about? What was it about?
It was essentially the Turtles have been like hidden their whole life, and then the Foot Clan rises up, and they're like, "All right, hey, we need to put a stop to this." So they fight the Foot Clan without being seen. April finds them, like gets a picture of them. Nobody believes her. They think she's crazy because she's talking about 6-foot tall turtles fighting and they're ninjas, and then like they're trying to essentially poison all of New York. Like they're gonna kill off all of New York, and then they have a like mutagen that's gonna like save everybody. It's like, hey, we can kill you, but we can also save you. So let's make some money.
Right.
And now, like I guess a huge part of the movie within like 20 minutes. It's like, all right, that's obvious.
Right. Yeah, he pretty much, when he talks in front of the graph of China, he pretty much explains everything that he's planning on doing to April without saying, hey, look, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they poisoned the water system. And this person came by and was like, hey, we got the cure. It's like, what? Why? Why'd you just tell me the entirety of the rest of the movie?
So, the bad, what are some bad things about the movie before... You want to go into yours? Or you want me to go into mine?
I'll let you go into yours, and then what you don't hit, I'll hit the rest.
All right. Well, first of all, like you said earlier, this was an April O'Neil story. She was like responsible for almost everything that went on. Which I was okay with her backstory because in the can't remember what happened in the 1990 movie now or 89, whichever year it came out, but. I don't know how she's connected with the Turtles, how she found them, but in this one, her dad was creating this mutagen to try to cure,
pretty much any disease.
Yeah, any disease, which is great. That's how a lot of movies start out, including The Amazing Spider-Man. But then there's a guy, Eric Sachs, who I'm pretty sure even himself thought was Shredder until the actual Shredder showed up, and he's like, "Oh, wait, I'm not Shredder." Anyway, that's another story altogether. If he was supposed to be Shredder, but the whole thing is about April. April does this, April does that, and then at the end, April ends up saving the day. She's the one that kicks Shredder, knocks him off the tower, and it's just like disappointing that. It was all April. The Turtles weren't in it a lot. I don't know if it's because the CGI cost so much or what it was. Second thing, foot soldiers had guns. I mean, in the cartoon, they had the little laser things, but it was a cartoon. But they had guns. They weren't really ninjas.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point in being a ninja Foot Clan with your sensei being a ninja master if you just shoot everybody?
Right, and they were wearing those little plastic mask-looking things. So it's kind of weird. I thought Splinter looked kind of funny. But I mean, all this stuff was really okay. The part that really got me was the way Shredder looked.
He looked flat out ridiculous, man.
And I mean, I thought for a second with Michael Bay doing this movie, and I like Michael Bay. I like the Transformer movies. I'm gonna be honest, I like those. But
there goes everybody.
Yeah. Hold on a second, guys. Listen for a second. Because I know you guys actually saw the Transformer movies. Those are like the highest grossing movies of all time. So we know you guys saw them.
Right.
But Shredder looked like they took, after Megatron got his head taken off at the end of Transformers 3, they just took everything that was left of his body and said, okay, ship this over to Ninja Turtles. Shredder's going to use this.
Yeah.
And I've heard theories that the reason why he looks so massive and big and is this big machine is that because Eric Sachs was originally going to be Shredder, and that the only way he could fight the Turtles would be to have this machine. If that's the case, it makes perfect sense. But when they recast and it gave an actual Shredder, they should have scrapped this enormous monstrosity.
Yeah, it was definitely something that it was disappointing. Like, whenever he put the suit on, and then, like, essentially once he got the suit on, he was on the rest of the movie. It's like, what? Go back to normal. Take the suit off. I want to see your face.
And
like,
you didn't see him at all. I mean, the times you did see him is in the dark, so you don't really know what he looked like.
It was like 2 times he was in a dojo, and then other than that, he was full on Megatron Shredder.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
So what else did you not like?
To me, it just wasn't it was an origin story, but it wasn't an origin story because they kind of got some of that through the beginning, like credits, like the little like cartoon drawings or whatever. They're like, okay, here's the Turtles, but then they went back and redid an entire origin story. They're like, okay, this is how I made the Turtles. It's like, no, you're a news reporter. You're not a scientist. You didn't. But I guess they hadn't tied it in together. It's a different story. My heart set on the old school, but they brought it new school. But it was an origin story that wasn't an origin story, and then it wasn't a story. It was like, all right, then now we have to do this. Like that, it wasn't like on a direct path. Kind of like my statement that I'm making right now.
Right.
It's kind of all over the place. It's like just stick to something, please.
And I'm not making excuses for them or saying what they did is okay. I don't know what the budget was for this movie, but it definitely looked like it was a movie that didn't get the blockbuster budget like Batman vs Superman or Captain America or something like that would get. And it seems like at times they were kind of confused, which may be why they used more of the scenes were actual actors with.
It was Megan Fox and
Vern. I can't remember what his name is now.
I can't either. But it's like, yeah, it was almost like, okay, these are our 2 biggest actors and actresses. They're going to be the focus of the movie. Like, we don't really have the time or money for the CG for the Turtles, so they're going to take the side road while these 2 are going to help us propel this. Maybe that's what it was. It was like, hey, let's get our movie out there so we can get money for the second one by saying, hey, Megan Fox, right. Megan Fox, Megan Fox.
Right. But, so with how much bad we had, do we have anything that was good?
I thought even though I ragged on it, I thought it was a good start for a reboot. Like, it got you out there. It kind of exposed you to the storyline, the world, essentially. It's like, okay, hey, I'll give the second movie a chance. It wasn't bad enough where I'm like, nope, not going to happen. It was like, all right, I'll give it a chance.
I think one thing I said was that the good things are the Turtles are back on the big screen. And I also said that it doesn't, even if I don't like Michael Bay, if he can get 5 or 6 more Ninja Turtle movies, then I'm game for him directing these. Because even though they're not the best movies and they're not the same as they were when I was a kid, that's okay. I don't have to have the same movies. I've already seen those. And even if these movies are bad, I can always go back and watch those again. They're not going to change. Those are stuck the way they were made in 1990, 91. And we're not even going to talk about the third one.
Yeah, we don't talk about the third one.
Golly, that third one was terrible. But they're back on the big screen, so this is awesome that the Turtles... Because, I mean, it'd been since 2007 since we had a Turtles movie, so 7 years later...
And it's the first live action one we've had since the 90s.
Yeah, 93. I mean, we're looking at almost 21 years. So, the downhill snow scene...
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'll give him credit for that. That was probably the highlight of the movie action-wise.
I agree. That story was. I mean, that scene was awesome going down there. The Shredder and Splinter battle was pretty good too. But that downhill snow scene was amazing. I mean, it just looked great. I know some of the physics doesn't really line up, but it looked great. I mean, I'm not watching this movie. And that's one thing I think we have to remember is that this is a kids movie. This is a movie, even though it's PG-13. This is a movie for kids. So the story's not going to be as well developed as other movies are, and you can do that because I mean the Avengers do that well, but it's for kids, so it's okay.
Yeah, I like the whenever they incorporated the jokes, they incorporated the funny side of the movie, which is a part of the Turtles. I mean, Michelangelo, that's like his character. That's what he does. He provides a comic relief, and then the Donnie Leo battle. It's like that's part of it. Like you get them 2 button heads because. That's just how they are. It's like, I liked that.
Right.
Did I say Donnie and Leo? I meant to say Raph and Leo. I think
I'm
it's
not sure what you said.
Well,
I knew what you meant. Ralph and Leo, yeah. And it didn't really explain why they butted heads. I mean, we kind of know because Ralph is jealous, but is it cool we call him Ralph? I mean, I didn't get that approved ahead of time.
I can do what I want.
And I did like, even though this was an April O'Neil story, I did like how she was connected to the Turtles. Because before, I mean, if you're just a reporter and you just happen to stumble upon these Turtles, why would you ever not progress your career and expose them?
Yeah,
but
most definitely.
If she has a connection as a kid, then I thought that was a kind of a nice connection.
Yeah, because right off the bat, she's like, "I'm tired of doing these stupid little dance on a trampoline things. Like, I want to be like an anchor. I want to be on the news." And
right.
It's like, this is your opportunity. Why don't you do it? I mean, she tried. She tried to get the story out there. Nobody would believe her. And then whenever they did, she realized, hey, these are my turtles.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. My turtles.
So, any final thoughts you got on the 2014?
I thought it was a decent movie. Not overly impressed by any means. Like I said, I guess storyline right off the bat. So, but it's not a bad movie. I'm excited for the next one, which just came out. It gave me enough to hold me over to another one came out, but it wasn't.
So it was good enough for 36 hours.
Yeah, yeah. It was all right.
So what's your rating going to be for this one?
My rating is actually a 1.
A 1.
A 1. It's
one
like
star.
I would watch it. I wouldn't like maybe whenever it came out, might have gone spend money on it, but I watched it and I was okay with it. Like, all right.
Just so you guys know, since you weren't here, I gave him the DVD to watch. So I have the DVD. I saw it. It's I'm giving it 2 stars. It's not going to get 3 stars on this one, but I liked it a lot. Like I said, it was going to be hard for it to get less than 2 stars for me because I wanted to see the Turtles on the screen. And regardless of how bad the movie was, I was just excited to finally see them on the screen again.
Right. That makes sense, man.
So, first we're going to start out with, we're going to move in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Just came out June 3rd. It's in theaters now. Well, at the time of this is recorded.
At the time that this is recorded.
It's in theaters.
If it's 2 years from now, it's not out now. Sorry.
That's true. What was you expecting going into this one? You saw the trailers or maybe a couple of trailers. What was you expecting?
I was expecting more turtles. It was like from everything I saw, it was okay. Here's like 8 different villains and a little bit of Megan Fox here and there, like a little bit of Vern, like rarely, but it was all turtles.
Right.
And I was like, all right, here we go. We got a turtle movie. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Anxious to see how they introduce the new characters. Like, okay, we got Bebop, Rocksteady. What are they going to do with that?
Right.
How are they going to pull that off? And then you got Krang, which not necessarily in the old movies, in the cartoon, maybe in the comics. Okay, how are they going to pull that off? So it's like, all right, I'm looking forward to it. Is this one going to be the turtle movie that I was wanting last time?
Right. I was pretty excited too. I knew they had a new Shredder cast, so I was excited to see his face. Which, I mean, Shredder's not really about showing his face anyway. He's more in the costume, but I didn't want to see I didn't feel like we were going to see the enormous Megatron Shredder again. Bebop and Rocksteady, I could not tell you how excited I was. As I watched the cartoon as a kid, I knew Bebop and Rocksteady was going to be in Ninja Turtles 2, and then it ended up being Toka and Razor. It was so disappointing when it wasn't them. Krang makes me a little nervous because we got Shredder, we've got Baxter Stockman, we got Bebop and Rocksteady, and now we're going to add Krang to this, and we knew Casey Jones was going to be in this. It seemed like a lot of new characters to develop, like you said, and so I was kind of a little bit nervous getting maybe too many. How are we going to get all this together? But I was excited again. I wanted to see all these guys on the big screen, so I was ready to see what was going to happen. So we'll start off with we'll do a non-spoiler. We'll talk about it a little bit non-spoilery.
Okay.
So what was the movie about?
That's a good question. Actually, like I said in the other one, it was just kind of all over the place. But essentially, there's this mutagen that they're trying to get their hands on, again.
Right. Well, I think I can take a swing at this one.
Right, I'll let you take a swing at it.
For this one here, it seemed like the plan was. Actually, that's going to be spoilery.
Yeah, it's hard not to spoil it.
You didn't really know exactly what the story was, I don't think, from the trailers going in.
Right.
So to say what it is, we know that Krang's in it, so we are expecting a Shredder and Krang team up with Bebop and Rocksteady, and them battling the Turtles. Because if you watch the cartoon, which is where a lot of these characters are coming from in the 80s and 90s, that's who it was. It was Krang, Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady, and the Foot Clan trying to stop the Turtles or destroy them. And you don't really know why. There's different reasons every episode, and they're trying different stuff every episode, but that's what it was. And so that's what I was expecting in this one, was that this was fan service. I mean, you had all the favorites. This was for sure a fan service film going in, and I thought it was pretty good. You have some bad things about the movie that's non-spoilery?
I do. It's just, there's not much of a consistent villain. It's kind of, like you said, all over the place. You got Shredder, you got Bebop Rocksteady, you got Krang. It's like, okay, now who are they supposed to be fighting? It's like, just stick to one and run with it. It's like, if you bring Bebop and Rocksteady in, have them be a major part of it, but leave Shredder a major part of it. Or if you have Krang, like the trailer show, have him be a major part of it. Just give me something that I can latch onto and hold on to.
Right.
And to me, it was too much of all of it.
I felt, like I said again, this movie was for the fans. If you watched the cartoon, and did you watch the cartoon as a kid?
I watch it every now and then. Like I said, I've just never watched a whole lot of TV.
This movie was exactly how the cartoon went. The same. The origin story it's a little different for Bebop and Rocksteady, but you have, they're the lynchmen, or what did he call them? Errand boys.
Yeah, errand boys
is what he calls them in the trailer and in the movie. Is they're errand boys. So that's what Bebop and Rocksteady were. They don't ever take orders themselves. They take them directly from Shredder. So the whole cartoon, that's what it is. And then you have Crane, who's this guy that in the comic, in the cartoon, he was expelled from Dimension X. It doesn't really go into a lot of his backstory in this movie, and I don't think that's spoilery. I hope not.
No,
but it doesn't really go into a lot of his story. But I think we'll discuss that more in the spoiler section.
Okay. So,
what about some good things from the movie?
It did introduce all these characters. I mean, like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like, it's a bad thing that you introduce so many, but it's a good thing because now you have a lot of options going into another movie if they make one. You have a Krang, you have a Shredder, you have a Bebop Rocksteady, you have a Baxter Stockman, you have all these villains that you can use that have already been introduced. So it's not like, all right, now we got to reintroduce a whole new character and go through their backstory and then their storyline. It's like, no, that's already been done. Now we can just roll with it. Like, you already know who this person is based off the last movie. In this next movie, let's go. And I thought that was a good idea. Like, it was too much at some points because, like I said, it was overly done, but at the same time, it's a good thing.
Right. And like I said again, this was fan service. This movie was strictly for the fans. Before we even give this a rating, if you're a fan of the Ninja Turtle cartoon, and then this is a movie you have to see, regardless of what we rate it, you need to go see this movie. Even if we give it a 0, this movie is one that you need to see if you're a fan of the cartoon, because it does so much fan service. I thought the story was, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away my thoughts on the story before and spoil anything. How did you think the Turtles look?
I thought they looked about the same. Like, I'm growing accustomed to them. Surprisingly enough, out of all of them, the way they look, Raph's my favorite.
Yeah, and he's by far the biggest too.
Yeah, he's the tallest of them all, and like, to me, he fits his role. He looks like he's supposed to.
Yeah, I really like. Donnie has too much stuff on him. I like how they got rid of a bunch of the. If you look at pictures side by side, the turtles are a little smaller, and which I'm okay with. I don't care. I'm not comparing them side by side.
Yeah, size doesn't matter.
That's true. Try to get back on point now for this as we enter the adult section of this podcast. They were a little smaller. Ralph was definitely the biggest. Donatello still had a bunch of crap on him. I mean, he's got that what an iPhone strapped to one arm, and he's got his Super Nintendo controller on his other arm, and it was just kind of, there was a lot of stuff there. So before we get into the spoilers, you want to go ahead and give it our rating here?
Yeah.
So you want to go first?
I'll let you go first this time. I went first last time. We'll swap.
Well, for me, this being the fan I was of the cartoon, this one is easily getting 3 stars. I was a huge fan cartoon. I thought this movie was great. I hope that it sets up for a second movie, because I think a third movie. I think building off of this movie, there's a lot to build up off of this movie as opposed to the last one. This one had a lot more to move forward, and even though the story was kind of hit and miss, this moved the story forward to where the next movie could be a really good movie for the fans and for a story. So this is easily getting 3 stars for me. Bebop and Rocksteady in this movie, when they were on screen, they nailed it. Their personalities, when they would joke around, if you watch the cartoon, they nail their personalities. They're joking around, they're making jokes, and having a good time, and they're idiots too. I mean, they do stupid stuff, and you see that happen in the movie, and they nailed that part for me. And so this is getting 3 stars. This wasn't even a difficult decision for me to make.
My man. I actually gave it a 2 stars. Like I wasn't a big.
So you're gonna buy it on Blu-ray?
I would recommend to buy on Blu-ray or watch it in theaters or both. If you're a fan, go for it, man. Like I said, the people in front of me during the movie, I don't know why they were there. I was looking forward to it as a Turtle fan growing up. I thought it was a decent movie. If for fans, I didn't watch a lot of the cartoons, so some of it was a little bit much. I saw it every now and then, but like they didn't resonate with me as much as some of the other stories. So like it's a good movie. I'd say go watch it for sure. Go pay money for it.
There you go. Go see it. And help raise that box office. I mean, what was the opening box office numbers?
35 million.
35 million. That's not very good.
I mean, they took the cake that weekend, and then the next one that came out, like another opening weekend for the next one, was like 18 million. They destroyed the people that opened with them. I mean, they were still above X-Men, but not by much. But they still, if that was to go against Civil War, not a chance.
Yeah, it was, but that's 30 million less than the last one opened at. And I think this is a better movie than the last.
This one's a much better movie than the last one.
But the last one, I think opening weekend was 65 million. I heard or I saw, and this one was 35 million. I'm hoping that this was just really low numbers. I thought across the board for everything. So I'm hoping that maybe it has some legs and it stays, because I want to see another one. I really want to see another one of these movies. I thought it was, like I said, it sets up good. So, are we ready to spoil this movie?
Let's get to spoiling.
Spoiler alert from here on out. So, if you're not wanting to be spoiled, then you should probably click ahead.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, 1. All right, spoilers now. So, what do you want to say, spoiler wise?
I hated the fact that Shredder was even in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, he served no purpose at all for the entirety of the movie. They broke him out of jail. He stood there and traveled once, and then stood there, and then that was it. He was captured. He was done. That was it. No more Shredder. It's like what was the point of Shredder? He didn't even become Shredder, like with the helmet and everything, until he was gone. It's like what was the point of that?
Right. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird the way they introduced his helmet, as it was a breathing mask for him.
Yeah, here's a breathing mechanism, and you're frozen.
Right. What I thought was interesting is that you got something else you want to say? Because I'm about to say my point of the story.
I thought Krang was underutilized. If he's going to be, because to me, from the trailers, he's the main villain. You saw him one time in the middle of the movie, and then at the end of the movie for about 5 minutes. It's like that. What was the point of even doing that? Like, no. To me, Bebop Rocksteady, main villains the entirety of the show.
But I mean, they were the main characters, I think. But what I think happened is they go to break Shredder out of jail.
Right.
And the idea was he was going to go jump into the teleporter, and Baxter Stockman was going to teleport him straight to where he was at.
Right.
And whenever he was teleported, Krang intercepted him.
Right.
And brought him to Dimension X. So I don't know if he was waiting for it or what. Or maybe he was just waiting for someone to teleport. So I thought that was kind of cool, the way they introduced Krang is that... Because how do you introduce a guy that has a brain in his stomach?
Yeah.
I mean, so that he catches Shredder trying to escape prison, and he tells him, okay, I have a Technodrome that can destroy the Turtles. It's pretty much because Shredder tells him that he wants... That if he helps him, he wants him to help him destroy the Turtles.
Right.
So they have this agreement going, and so then Krang teleports Shredder the rest of the way, and Shredder immediately tells Baxter Stockman that he didn't get there. He didn't get to that location the way he was supposed to, and so they're immediately he sends Bebop and Rocksteady to get the other two pieces that Baxter has not accumulated to be able to bring the Technodrome into Earth. So now the story for me was to break Shredder out. Well, to break Shredder out of prison, and then whenever the story changed then to that they had to do this mission for Krang. So that's normally what happens in the show is that Shredder in the TV show, Shredder would send Bebop and Rocksteady out to do all this grunt work, like errand boys, like he says. And so I thought I was okay with that Shredder wasn't a big part of it because he was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Okay.
What I did not see happening was him getting frozen by Krang.
Yeah. But that also, at the same time, he's got all those other frozen, I want to assume, other villains that he could unfreeze and unleash as needed.
Well, we don't know what they are. They could just be trophies. But yeah, Krang, I mean, for him being live action, I thought it was weird that he was out of the stomach so much. But when we saw him get put back in there, it kind of was like, okay, well, I understand now. But he was a little bit weird. I think he ended up being the main villain, but I think it's because that's the way the story progressed. This movie was more directed at kids, I think. This is for sure for kids. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, this is not, because this is a kids movie. This is for 10-year-old kids, and if they liked it, then I'm cool with it.
I know what you're talking about. I was wearing that headband, that mask as soon as I got it, man.
I saw it on Twitter.
I put that thing on, and I was like, yeah, buddy, I'm wearing it the whole movie, and I did. I'm a big kid. I'm a kid, too.
I'm a big kid now. So I thought the story kind of progressed. I'm very excited if they do another movie because now we have Shredder is stuck with Krang, and Krang's going to have to go back to Shredder in order to figure out how to get back to Earth, and he's going to want revenge on the Turtles now.
Right.
And Bebop and Rocksteady will have to be broken out of prison. So, I mean, I think this really sets up a lot, and plus you got Baxter Stockman that could end up helping with Karai, which I don't know if you realize that was Karai because they changed actresses.
Yeah, they changed her completely.
Don't really understand why they changed her but the last Karai would fit the bill perfect. And so you could have, there's going to be, I think there's a lot of stuff there to explore going into a third movie.
Yeah. And something else I wasn't happy with was Casey Jones. Like, to me, he wears the mask. It's like, that's his symbol. That's what he looks like. That's him. And he did that for about 2 minutes, and then that was it. It's like that. I get it. It's a reboot. It's not going to be the same thing as what I envisioned. But it's like, come on, dude. This is the character. This is iconic for him. Give it to him for more than 10 seconds in the movie.
Yeah, you know why? It's because that's Stephen Amell. They're not going to cover up that face.
It's like that.
And that face is getting girls in the theaters.
but it was like, no. Like, that didn't make sense. Like, that. Like, one of the main things is whenever Rocksteady was, like, running through the cars, and he's sitting there skating along in just normal everyday clothes, like he's just an average Joe. It's like, what's the point of you other than being a cop? It's like, you serve no purpose now. You are not, to me, iconic in any part of this movie. If he's not in the next one, I'm not going to be upset.
Right. Well, what I thought was cool is, did you know what? I don't know what in the comic books or I don't even know in the cartoon that it tells you. But did you know that he was a cop, Casey Jones?
I did not.
So to me, I was okay with the way they did Casey Jones because I didn't know his origin story. He shows up in the first Ninja Turtles, and he's already Casey Jones carrying the golf bag with the bats and the golf clubs and the hockey, and I mean, he had everything in that thing. And so he's already Casey Jones, but it doesn't. I don't remember it ever exploring how he became this vigilante.
Right.
And so this one, you find out that he's kind of a little bit of a crybaby, douchebag. I just want to be a detective, and and he said that line like 5 times in the movie. I was just like, what the is he saying? Grow a pair, man. You're an adult.
It's like he's got anger issues. He's like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have anger issues.
Yeah, he didn't. But I thought it was kind of cool. It seemed like they laid the groundwork for him to become this vigilante and wear the mask. But he had no reason to wear the mask in the beginning.
Well, even at the end, it was like, all right, hey, pat on the back, welcome back to the force. It's like, what happens between now and the next movie where he's a vigilante? Now he's just a cop again.
Well, we know that he teamed up with the Turtles at least.
Yeah.
So I don't know that.
Well, that was to benefit him. Like, he was looking for people up in Rocksteady. It was no other purpose. Like,
right. But I think
the only reason now he's going to team up is because April. Like, they're just going to happen to be there.
Well, I think he teamed up because not just to catch people in Rocksteady, but because no one believed him when he told his story. And so I don't know how many people they're going to let know, because they had that that secret ceremony to give the Turtles the key to the city.
But there was so how many cops were there?
Well, I'm sure that was just the cops that was in the precinct whenever they saw the Turtles, is what I would guess.
It's like that. I was like, oh my gosh, they're just exposing him to more. It's like, but why? Why are they doing it out in the open on the island with Statue of Liberty? It's like, why not do it somewhere else in the secrecy?
No one's going to see that. I was okay with that. It's not like it was on speakerphone. I mean, on a loudspeaker or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just something very... Because you saw Michelangelo whenever the cops see him and he's like, they're monsters. Like, it made Michelangelo, like, so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other ones, too, they were kind of like, they think we're freaks or whatever. And so I don't know that Casey Jones may not be able to go back to being a cop, because maybe they're not going to know that he had a hand in stopping everything that happened. Maybe they're just going to know that he's crazy because he thought he saw a trash truck coming down the...
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the April O'Neil? Do you think they're going to do kind of like the Transformers, like just get rid of that whole character altogether?
No,
because they didn't showcase Megan Fox near as much this time. I mean, not near as much.
No, they can't get rid of April. I mean, in Transformers, they didn't get rid of They didn't get rid of her character. They got rid of Megan Fox. But who was her character? I mean,
yeah.
April O'Neil is in every turtle that's ever been turtle series. There's always an April O'Neil, so they're not going to get rid of her. They may recast her or something, which I don't think so. I think I've heard that actually everybody's on for a third movie if they decide to do it. All these people to come back.
Wow.
Which I mean is great, because you finally get some camaraderie. Camaraderie? How do you say that?
That sounds good to me.
Anyway, amongst the actors and actresses, and get the same group together to do another one. So, final thoughts? Anything else?
I'm looking forward to the next one. Like, just hopefully they make it.
2018, probably 2 years.
Maybe 2020. They got too many other big movies to compete with, man.
Yeah, I did see when I looked up today if there was another Ninja Turtle movie in the works that Megan Fox is pregnant, so that could delay recording.
Yep, most definitely.
I just wanted to apologize to everybody.
Unless they recast her, but I did hear that she showed her kids.
It was worth it.
Like, like the trailer of Ninja Turtles, and like I guess it was her 4-year-old, and the kid like freaked out. It was like, they're gonna eat you, and she was like, nope, not good enough. So it's like, is she still gonna stick with it, even though her kids aren't on board, or maybe she's gonna?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, these turtles are a little bit scarier, but they made them more lighthearted. This one, it wasn't quite as dark. I don't think we need a gritty, dark Ninja Turtle movie like we had the first one. This one, to me, I think it really did set a lot of stepping stones towards a third one, and maybe even a fourth one if they decide to keep doing it. And I just hope the numbers come through to make it worth making another one,
Yeah.
So, yeah, here's hoping for a third one, trilogy.
This one's going to be called Out of the Shadows 2.
back in the shadows.
Back in the shadows. That'd be hilarious.
I did think it was cool that the I guess SWAT team escorted them into the building.
Yeah.
And hid them.
Yep. It's like, because that's how it would have been too. People on the cell phones, like, well, okay, what's going on? Let's get this out, record it.
Yep. And I did like how it was portrayed in a modern day New York, and there was, because you got like the cell phone use, and you have some of the technology was kind of cool that they used. It doesn't really explain, which I don't need it to be explained. I'm just going to assume it works, because I don't need to explain how come that jump drive gets plugged into the monitor and it takes that off. That's fine. I mean, I understand the concept of it. You don't have to. So I thought the use of some technology was kind of nice. And what did you think about Donatello putting the stuff on his hand?
I thought, like, that, to me, it's a scientist. Like, that's what he would do. Like, he didn't have anything else to test. You use yourself.
No, I just mean in his hand.
That it became 5?
Right, that he became like a human.
That was kind of weird looking. I was like, there's no way they're going to do that, right? Surely not.
I didn't think there would be either, because I knew, well, from watching the trailer, I knew that whenever they fought Krang, that they were not going to be human. They were going to be Ninja Turtles. But, yeah, I thought that was like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's kind of crazy. It looked kind of cool when it did it too. What'd you think about the split up between Ralph and... I'm sorry, we did get text messages during the show. It's Raphael, he said. Between Raphael and Leonardo.
Makes perfect sense. It's like, because Raph wants to be the leader. Like, that's like a guarantee, but he's too hot-headed. He's too aggressive. He's too brutal. Like, so he's not a strategist like Leo is. Like, it just wouldn't work. So it makes sense. But whenever he had the opportunity to say, "Hey, why are you not helping us? Why are you not being a good leader?" Like, I thought that part of the story was awesome. It was like, okay, hey, they're having internal strife just like any brothers would. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, getting this podcast on the air today was a battle. I mean, we completely tore up this room. Yeah,
it's been tore up a little bit.
So I don't know how we're gonna patch the holes in the wall.
But like I was okay with it. I was cool with it.
Yeah, I was too. I thought they kind of explained it a little bit more, because Leonardo does struggle as a leader, and I really did like the way they portrayed Splinter in this one. First of all, he looked better than the last one, and second, he was more of the mentor in this one instead of, which he was, I guess, the mentor in the last one too, but he fought Shredder in the last one.
Right.
And in this one, he didn't fight anyone that I can remember.
Nope.
He just Casey Jones.
Yeah, took out Casey Jones. They had a lot of good fun parts to the movie. A lot of good action scenes. I thought the river scene was a remake of the snow scene. Like, it just looked, the only difference was a tank this time. Like, the other one, they had a car that shot also. Like, but it's the exact same scene. Give me something new.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was so cool seeing Bebop and Rocksteady on the tank.
He shoots and he's like, "Car!"
And more from I took more from the water scene or the river scene was that the turtles were fighting with each other, and that was why they lost the last piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
And that's what I took more of it than Bebop and Rocksteady or the action or anything. Now, when Rocksteady shoots the plane, that is totally something he would have done.
That was hilarious, man.
Yeah, it was so funny. The like I said, the way these two guys was great to see these two guys. I could watch a movie, I think, with just them two. They were that good in the movie. They were funny. They were their characters. They looked realistic for, I guess, realistic for a warthog and a rhinoceros.
Yeah, life size,
walking like a man. But I mean, they were realistic toward what the the cartoon showed was their personalities and things like that. And they weren't smart. I even thought that the actual actors that played them played their human part well too. Yep.
I mean, they translated right over. Like, they portrayed them as humans as they did as their animal counterparts.
Right.
So, like, it made perfect sense.
Yep, it was. I thought it was good. I definitely think that Bebop and Rocksteady was the highlights of the movie.
Most definitely.
So, all right, we putting this one in the books.
We're gonna put this one to bed, man.
All right, so that's going to be it for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle portion. So, anything else?
My man.
My man. Oh, I'm a little piggy.
I'm a little piggy.
You're a rhinoceros.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah. Do I look fat? You look really fat. Or what did he say? Is that what he said?
I remember the "Do you look fat" part.
No,
do I look fat?
You look really fat. Anyway, yeah, if you got some favorite quotes from the movie, only from Bebop and Rocksteady, you can leave them below. Or if there's a place to comment, you can comment wherever that is.
Yeah, feel free to send us anything, your insights, your thoughts, how you thought the movie went, if it was anything you expected, if you agreed, disagreed with anything we said, what your rating would have been, a 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 being the highest, 0 being never again, being the people in front of us.
Yeah. Or if you were the lady in the concession stand line.
Or if you're the lady in the concession stand line.
And if she's listening, I hope she knows who she is. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Yeah, leave a comment down below. Tweet at us at New Comic Fans. Send us an email at newcomicfans@gmail.com. We're more than welcome. Any questions, comments, like if you want to bash us, we'll take the hate.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. It's part of it. We are new to this. We're new comic fans. We're getting the hang of it. We're trying to understand it, and we need all the help we can get.
And if you hadn't guessed, we're also new to podcasting since this is episode number 1. So we're actually recording this on Monday, June 6th. So if you don't see this come up until like a week later, that you understand why.
We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah. Did you hit the record button when we started?
I hit the start the timer button.
Shoot.
Guess we gotta do it again.
Yeah. No, but seriously, leave us comments if you got questions for us. If you got a topic you want to hear us talk about, we're happy to do some research and find out some information for you guys so that you can make this more enjoyable for you, the listeners. But yeah, like he said, at New Comic Fans on Twitter, and you can email us at comicbookfans@gmail.com. And I think we'll have all that stuff linked below, and I'm sure you can find it by looking around. And we have a YouTube channel too. I don't know if we'll have anything up yet or not, but it's youtube.com/ actually we haven't set that up yet, I don't think yet. So
that's still a work in progress, but it's there. Just look for it. It'll be in our Twitter. You'll figure it out.
You'll see it.
You'll get to it.
If you want to find it bad enough, you can find us.
Yeah, just look for us.
Because we plan so well.
Just send out the New Comic Fans bat symbol, and we'll be there.
So tweet at us this week and tell us who your favorite Ninja Turtle is. There's 4 of them that we're going to take as an answer.
Yeah.
So tell us which one it is.
I mean, not the girl.
We're not taking the girl.
Not taking the girl. So
Leonardo. Yeah. But tweet at us and tell us which one's your favorite. And I guess that will be it. I guess we will talk to you guys next time.
That'll be it. Holler at you guys later.
Deuces.